Hey world, being able to come back with another video. First, I want to thank you guys for being in the garden with the old man for a long time. I have some cats that have been here with me for a while. You dig? And it's really humbling and gratifying. Okay, and so I just want to throw that out there first. Family is happening again, and the whole theme of being really food for thought is pay yourself first, because it doesn't make sense for you to be blind to the notion that employee is actually is synonymous to slave. And what I mean by that, you have to work to sustain any type of living in America on your income that you generate from your energy, from you working, right? That can be physically, mentally, you dig? However it is, you're going to be able to make this thing happen, but it's going to happen in one or two forms. It's going to happen either physically or mentally, right? Now, what can happen is you start your own business, come up with some good or service that you know people will buy and purchase, market it, manufacture it, distribute it, and sell it, right? And make a profit. But that comes with dedication, a desire, and a focus, right? They don't teach that in schools. So in this climate right now, where the U.S. government shut down America, where the U.S. government stymied, our youthful intelligence. How do you mean? Kids didn't go to school for 2 years. Now, you may say, well, the people that were seniors, my heart goes out to them because they weren't able to graduate. Remember, these are lifelong memories of things that can never, ever be captured again. Your graduation, my gosh, all your war ceremonies, all the athletic competitions, all the band competitions, orchestra, theater arts. I mean, there were a plethora of extracurricular activities that our students spent many, many hours of their time training to get to a certain level. And then in 2019, 2020, they shut everything down. And they'll never, ever get it back. Now, if you look even further into that, let's look at our kids that were 3 and 4 years old, 5 years old, that didn't go to kindergarten or first grade, and now they 6 and 7, 8. Now they got to go to first, second grade. And if the parents didn't, have the opportunity and the time to teach them the basics, then they're going to be behind. Well, our elementary kids that were off 2 years or behind, middle school, so far and so on. I mean, and I see it teaching, because I'm in education. I see the difference in our kids, Now, fathers, their nature, still beautiful young souls. But what was taken from them for 2 years, and the psychological and emotional impact it had on our kids socially, that kind of stuff you can't get back. And so then you fast forward to, let's look at it, how did it affect adults? Well, financially, economically, think about what's going on right now. For 2 years, they shut down businesses. These businesses are still trying to, stay above water, right? Because a lot of people are still not working, and the salaries are not, comparable to inflation. And so you have a lot of people not purchasing goods and services. So if you have businesses, your business is probably not doing as well as it was before, pre-pandemic. Okay? And to make matters worse, the government allowed banks to have interest rates continue to rise, inflation to continue to rise. So you get no relief. You get no relief. You dig? My partner G Money, what up, G? Shared a story with me about a bank in Los Angeles, California called the Silicon National Bank. I guess it's SNB or Silicon Valley Bank, SVB. Well, this is one of the top 20 banks in the nation. And there was a run on this bank. What does that mean? That means the bank notified most of the major depositors that we're not going to be able to pay your bills. We're not going to be able to give you your money this week. Now, remind you, this bank was one of the top 20 in the nation. And they were able to secure and guarantee these loans or deposits to all these startup companies in California, i.e. tech companies, pharmaceutical companies. There's a lot of different businesses that this particular bank's, what they was doing was allowing them to gain deposits. Hey, put your deposits in my bank. Put your deposits in my bank and we take care of you. Now, remember, if this bank is reputable, you're going to put your money in that bank. This bank is going to say, okay, we're going to, give you loans. What did the bank do? They didn't hold up their end of the bargain. So right now, there was a run on the bank. And what does that mean? Everybody trying to go get their money out the bank. All these businesses that dropped their deposits in this bank, now they don't have the money to pay their employees. Because what did that mean? If you are a startup company and you get financing from a particular bank, now mind you, this bank had hundreds of companies. And these companies have to pay their employees every 2 weeks or every month. If they can't make payroll, how are the employees going to pay their bills? See how they doing it, family? And they giving $120 billion to Ukraine. Now, I'm not advocating giving the money to Silicon Valley. No, because guess what this bank did? They knew that what they was doing was corrupt and fraud. Okay? The CEO and the CFO, they sold stocks. If you don't know what fractional reserve is, family, fractional reserve is when a bank can invest 90% of the profits or 90% of its deposits, right, while only keeping 10% for, withdrawals. But they have to have enough capital in the bank to secure all the payroll for the commercial business accounts for people that want to come in and grab their money for whatever reason. This particular bank didn't do it. The leader sold stock. The bank told the people that, sorry, we mismanaged. Now the U.S. Treasury, which is those who take our taxpayers' money, those that take the taxpayers' money, said that we're not going to bail them out. Because remember, family, this happened in 2008 with the banks. And under Obama, they bailed the banks out. Okay? But under Obama, he tried to put in what they call a fail-safe so something like this would never happen again. And what it basically did would allow, the government to regulate these banks, right? To give them what they call stress tests. And these stress tests was basically to have the government go in and make sure that these banks were able to secure all the deposits and the withdrawals necessary for their clients. So what happened in 2008 wouldn't happen again. But when Trump got in office, and then I want to say, don't ever believe that it's the president. It ain't about the president. Remember, the Congress makes the laws. Under Obama, Congress was able to say all banks with 50 billion assets have to get stress tests. Because if you have 50 billion assets, $50 billion worth of assets, every quarter, every year, we need to make sure you're able to have those assets secured enough with cash so that all your clients, all your customers can get their payroll, can get their money when they want it. But when Trump came into office, He proposed a $250 billion level opposed to $50 billion. Now, you say, well, Trump did it. No, Congress had to pass that law, family. And when Congress passed it, now these banks that has less than $50 billion of assets, no one was putting them under scrutiny. No one was making sure or regulating them to make sure that, okay, you have all these assets, but do you have the cash to accommodate your customers? They weren't doing it because they say all you have to have is, the minimum is $250 billion. So think about this, family. All the banks in America right now that's managing under $250 billion, ain't nobody paying attention to them. The regulations have eased up on them so they can be doing all kinds of things. And with the help of the government and with the help of these corporations giving money to politicians, don't shit change. Family, let me tell you something. Don't think for 1 minute that what's happening is an accident. Those cats, those Politriks, it's all a game. If you've been in the garden, I tell you about the real actors and the fake actors. Who the real actors? The politicians, the people you see on the news. And I call them real, but I'm being facetious because they're not real. But you perceive them as real because, ordinarily you think that they're supposed to be doing what's best for the American people. They don't, fool. Mexico has been producing, manufacturing, and sending over 90% of all the drugs in America come from Mexico. 90%. Remember, there is no separation of land masses from Mexico to the United States. So it's just one big ass country that when they say crossing the border, what border are they talking about? A separation of countries is either water or mountains. But if there's no separation, this is one country. So all these drugs that's coming over here, opioids, all that stuff, the marijuana, all that, it's all good. But guess what? Don't be trying to front like, there's a war on drugs. No, it's not. America is Mexico. How do you explain all the construction jobs, all the landscaping jobs, all the agricultural jobs? Come on, man. You been to Home Depot? Remember, I love everybody, but I'm conscious. So, and the fake actors are those cats that they use to help you sell products. Go to the movies. Buy all that popcorn and sodas with these fake-ass actors. When those fake-ass actors get on TV and say, hey, go buy this medication, go buy this product, since you are under the, spell of idolatry, you'll go buy it because of this person that you have no idea who is. You did? Now, it's a different situation, family. This crash that's going to happen, I'm saying, I hope you paid yourself first. This economic crash that's going to happen pretty soon is going to be pretty bad. I ain't got to tell you. Right now, a carton of eggs is down near $6 a carton for 12 eggs. Have you tried to buy milk lately? Okay. So, I just thought it was kind of crazy. You see all this crap on the news. And I really wanted to bring up the situation in California with that bank, because this is one of the top 20 banks in the nation, family, that said, I'm sorry, we cannot accommodate our customers. We messed up. And I guess they expected the government to bail them out. But then see how cold this is? Today, her name is Janet Yellen, who was the U.S. Treasury Secretary, right? That's over distributing all our tax money. She said, we're not going to bail them out. So what's going to happen to all those companies? Because if they FDIC insured, That's only going to cover up to $250,000 of deposits. If you had millions of dollars of deposits in this bank, how you going to get your money? How you going to make payroll? And remember, this bank was accommodating or servicing startup companies, okay, that had to have a certain amount of cash on hand for payroll, operating costs, all of that. Inventory. Man, I'm sitting in the Cuff family. I paid myself first, and we're going to see what happens. It's going to be tough for a lot of people. You dig? And before I get up out of here, family, my boy said, damn, Bean, you can go 20 minutes straight. And I think this may going to be a 20-minute video. But I wanted to hit again because, remember, if you're working, if you have 401ks, if you're near retirement age, they telling you right now Social Security not going to be there, Medicare and all of that is affected. That's why if you're paying attention, Joe Biden, your president, has proposed his budget. And his budget was supposed to try to save Social Security and Medicare. But at the same time, raising taxes by $5 trillion. Come on, man. What does that mean? Well, if you're in the garden, I tell you, pay yourself first. You're investing, right? You're investing your money. You're saving your money. Well, Joe Biden wants to increase capital gains taxes by over 100%, damn near, because capital gains tax was like 15 to 20%. And what does that mean? If you invest in stocks and you get a gain, right? You buy the stock for $2, you sell it for $20, all that money you just made on that stock, right? Well, your taxes is only going to be about 15 to 20% at the most, okay? On that profit. Well, now Joe Biden says, nah, well, not Joe Biden, because remember, it's Congress or whoever writing his shit. And remember, if it passes because Congress wants it to happen. Now the capital gains tax, he wants to be like 40%. Man, who's going to do that? He wants to raise corporate tax from 25% to 28%. That's corporations that pay employees. You dig? Not put a cap on corporate CEO salaries. See, think about that. Because if you can say, well, Americans, this is the minimum wage. So a company can start a company, hire 30 people, and say, this is all I have to pay you based on the minimum wage, based on the government. Then the same government can come in and say, you know what? If you're a CEO of any corporation in the top 500, okay? Now that's all the Dow Jones companies. That's all the S&P 500 companies. There's a cap on your salary. You can't make no more than this amount of money. Come on, man. Then now, those CEOs making $20, $30 million a year, that money got to trickle down to the employees that's doing all the work. If you're talking about the American people, you dig? But you're not. So you want to tax corporations 25%, from 25 to 28%. Corporations, mind you. These are people that hire people. These are the companies that hire people. You want to increase capital gains tax from 20% to 40%. These are the people that have their hard-working money, instead of just placing it in banks or just spending it frivolously, they're investing, okay, in real estate, stocks, bonds, so they can get some type of capital gain because these salaries are so low. You want to tax them 40%? You want to increase the taxes on families or individuals making $400,000 or more. $400,000 today, not a lot of change, yo. So you saying you're going to increase that tax rate from 37% to 39.9, almost 40%. That's the marginal tax rate they want to tax you. if you're making over $400,000 a year. You want to tax them, but not increase the taxes. See, this shit can be changed. Go in and say anybody making over $5 million a year, because if that's your income, come on, dog. What company is able to pay someone $5 million a year? I'm the CEO of the company. I'm the CEO of the bank. Dude, you ain't doing shit. People are coming in and giving you their money. You ain't going out there. So why you get all the money? Okay? Food for thought, family. I had to come up with this one. Pay yourself first, family. Don't fall for this bull crap with these real actors and fake actors. Look what's happening. Nothing. Politriks on TV lying. Don't ever believe that Congress has your best back, because look at who's in charge. Everybody over 70 years old. Come on, dog. And if you have any type of consciousness, hold up, 70 years old. 60 years ago, 50 years ago, man, this country was different. What was their ideology? And I'm supposed to believe they just flipped it? No, because it's still the same. But see, now, non-blacks, and I hate that shit, because there's no such thing. And please don't identify yourself as black, African American, colored, Negro. That's why the birthright was stolen. That's why they was able to tell you that all these millions and millions and millions of Indians, Native Americans, where did they go? You can say there was a move from one part of the country to the other part of the country. But if you look at that part of the country they was moved to, it's only a certain group of people there. Disenfranchised. So don't identify yourself. Remember, today in this age of identifying, don't identify yourself as black, African American, because remember, you're not African because you weren't born there. And Africa is not really the proper name for Africa, because if you go back to the Punic Wars, there's this cat by the name of Africanus Scipio. It was a Roman cat that defeated Hannibal Circa in the Third Punic War. And that northern Africa part right there that they invaded, the Romans, that's why they call it Africa, after him. And then if you look at America, back in 1492, this cat by the name of Amerigo Vespucci. In 1492, an Italian explorer came in through the Gulf of Mexico first, right? And in South America, and that's why they named America, America. You got to put two and two together. Because if Columbus discovered America, America would be called Columbus, not America, or Columbia. Don't believe this shit, family. It's ridiculous. But like I say, you have history and you have his story. And there's nowhere in hell all these people that was here way before anybody got here just all of a sudden just disappeared. Pay yourself first, family. And in the meantime, between time, may the Most High Almighty bring you joy. And remember, just so they won't stymie this video in any way, the title is just going to be a little food for thought. And being with is out of 5,000.